Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. This is a live stream that I do twice a day, 7 days a week for the last 24 months, the last 2 years. Nonstop, I've been doing this, not missed one live stream. That's 14 live streams a week after week, month after month, and year after year. And I'm here to help you fight a government entity that's set up in your county that was mandated by Congress in 1962 to protect our children from neglect and abuse and to help out families through reunification of taking parenting classes and programs to help out with their parenting skills. Because studies have proven that the best families to raise children are the biological families, a mother and a father. Whether you're married, whatever relationship you have responsibilities. When you bring children in the world, it's the parent's responsibility to raise them for 18 years, to give them education, food, shelter, transportation, and hopefully teach them life skills to make them a good parent when they grow up. But what has happened, and I've discovered in the last 2 years, and I've been fighting CPS for over 15 years. They wrongfully attacked my family in 2015 and stole and alienated my children. 3 of my 6 children were taken, and one was never returned. I lost my forever home and lost my youngest daughter of my 6 children. It's wrong what they did. And I know firsthand. And so I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, but I'm a loving father and a husband. And I'm not giving legal advice, I'm giving something called reality. I was in the trenches. I know firsthand of what CPS and how corrupt they are. I've also talked to over 2,800 people from around the world, 24 countries so far, including the United States and all 50 states. And they have clearly shown me that the one thing we all have in common is the corrupt CPS entities, whether in a county of the state or whether in a country. Families are being hurt. Now, I'm not saying there's not a need for protection of our children. There always has been. There always has been. For 425 years, there's been some attempts to protect our children. There are cases in the 1600s, in the 1800s, and so forth of children that have been abused, that have been neglected. Over 1,000 cases every day go unreported. Unreported. There are bad parents, but there's also bad CPS entities. Now, this live stream is for educational purposes only. And I want to emphasize I have an attorney I work for. His name is Vincent W. Davis. His picture is on the upper right hand corner. He is well known of fighting CPS. He's been doing it for 19 years and has gotten back thousands of children. He is schooled, licensed, and educated in the areas of juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. He's the real deal. And I have a number on the screen for him at 888-888-6582. where you can get legal advice by talking to him. Now, when you reach the company, you'll get a reception. Make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And when you speak to Mr. Davis, make sure you tell Mr. Davis that Bob Pace sent you. Now, the bottom of the screen is scrolling as ways that um, that some of the packages that he has in his office. Now, if you want for $10 to have a private text reply from Mr. Davis, or for $15, you can have a private call from Vincent Davis. And for $25, you can be on a 30-minute guest show with Mr. Davis. All you do is send it via Cash Apps, AutoPay, or Zella at 310-308-7758. They'll be up the whole time during my show. The whole time. So when you call in, he can be hired. Right now, he works everywhere there's anybody that needs him. He can go to other states, he can go to other parts of California. Now, his office is in Arcadia, which is in Los Angeles County. That particular county CPS is called the Department of Children and Family Services. And I use the word CPS all the time to mean the Child Protection System. Every system in every county will have a different name. I don't know if they do that purposely to confuse you or what. But everybody pretty much knows that CPS stands for the Child Protection System. Systems. Now, being in LA County, his retainer is approximately $5,000. His hourly um, his hourly cost is $500. Now, attorneys will charge you from $200 an hour to $1,000 an hour, or even more. Attorneys are hard to come by, especially ones that know how to navigate CPS and how to fight CPS. And Mr. Davis does a good job about doing that. He's a trial attorney, and he also can do civil lawsuits. Once your case is over, if your civil rights or constitutional rights have been violated, let's say, for example, the social worker commits perjury on the stand or lies on the stand, you can sue that social worker for doing so. I have a perfect lawsuit, but I don't have the funds right now because I spent all my funds and quick sell my forever home to get my children back. And it was a very excruciating thing. It all started when I lost my job through no fault of my own in 2010. And I was suddenly faced with no future of a quite promising job. I'd already gotten enough work for the company, but the jobs were canceled because the state of California was going bankrupt. And they wrote me IOUs for government contracts I had to do work for the state of California. Now, IOUs, I thought, well, the banks might give me a credit line. I went to the banks and they said no. They had been stupid because they were giving out predatory loans. Those are loans given out to lenders, to homeowners that really didn't qualify, but they document the documents so they would qualify so that those lenders can get extra money. They wanted them, it's all about money. And Countrywide was one of the biggest companies that went flat on its face. And I was a Countrywide, my mortgage, and I was overqualified. I found out later because I sued Bank of America, but I won a small amount of money for the predatory loan. My life has been disheveled, and I've been trying to rise up like the phoenix does. If you know the story of the phoenix, it's the bird that rises from the ashes. And I do this show because I care about you and I don't want you to experience the horrific horrors that I experienced in CPS. Now, my case was in Orange County Child Protection Services. The director, who I tried to on numerous occasions to talk to resolve the wrong things they're doing to my family, works out of a Taj Mahal of a building. He doesn't work where his workers work. He has his own private building, a 10-story building in Orange that looks like the Taj Mahal in India or the Emerald City of the Wizard of Oz. Very gaudy. You go in the place, it's not simple. You can see where the money goes, the money that they get. See, that's the sad part, is the federal government is feeding trillions of dollars into CPS. No questions asked. The state needs money, the federal government sends. The county needs money from the state. No questions asked, the money's sent. There are terrible stories. Like, where's the $1 million in Richmond, Kentucky that was sent to the CPS system? They call their CPS the cabinet. They traced it down to one social worker who embezzled $400,000. It's all in the court system. But where's the other 600,000? You see, there's no board of supervisors or directors or any entity that watches over the child protection system. Now, in 62, when the act of Congress told social services, you need to protect our children from neglect and abuse. So they started the child protection system. It wasn't until 1974 when they got any laws with meat in it. So from 62 to 74. And the sad part was the Humane Society for the Prevention of Cruelty of Animals was long established before we were concerned about our children. The greatest group of children that a lot of people don't realize were the Native American Indians, or the First Nation tribe in Canada. They were abused by what people said they're civilized, and they came mostly from Europe. Tried to overrun and take these people they called savages. I don't think they're any more savages than the Europeans were when they settled here and ruined the forests by cutting down, killing off the buffalo. It's so bad. Indian children were rounded up, their hairs were cut. You know, in 1875, the reservations were already happening, and the trail of broken promises were there, and the children were forced to these disciplined schools, run a lot of them by churches. They couldn't speak their language, they couldn't dress up, they can't eat the food. It's so sad. There are so many stories about how the Native American Indian children and families. So it has continued on, not only with the American Indians, with Native people from other parts of the world. The Africans that were brought over to the United States to work as slaves were abused. A lot of the Africans were. Now, I'm talking about people that came from Africa. A lot of them were dropped off in Jamaica and Bahamas and different places. but they were used. People in Africa were simple, simple people. The Egyptians went down into Africa and got the children and the things to build the pyramids. Europeans went into Africa to get the people there. Now, I'm colorblind, so I don't want to say it's black or white or yellow or orange or red. We all are immigrants, every one of us, including the Native American Indians. They're the first immigrants. They came over the land bridge and settled in Canada, and then in the United States, and then South in Mexico and South America. Then they branched out across the Pacific to the Polynesian Islands. The Kon-Tiki expedition proved that a raft could sail from South America to an island in the Pacific. And a lot of the islanders did too. From Indonesia, from Australia, settled in the South Pacific. But all these people have children, have families like you do today. And the thing that we have in common is probably because we're low income. Now, everybody gets a chance. A lot of people have very wealthy families they got from, and they get to continue on their wealthiness. And a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't, and they have to deal with that. So I'm here to help you all understand and how bad the um, system of protecting our children being. I was listening to the news today. In California, they have now arrested the guy that started the Palisades fire, maliciously started it. And they supposedly have enough evidence. It's a young person. Now, I'm not against young people. He's 29. The guy that killed Charlie Cook, who was a political activist, who was a religious um, man who believed in God and so forth, aggravated, I guess, young people. It seems like a lot of the young people are turning. I mean, I don't understand. I see it happening with the children in Gaza and the children in Israel. Yesterday was the 2-year anniversary of one of the most devastating times in our history. Is the slaughter, the needless slaughter of people from one race from another. A country comes in and takes them. And the same thing is happening time and time. And we're so caught up. We're so caught pointing fingers and saying the Democrats or the Republicans. We have to forget about our political affiliation because we're human beings and we have a God that we pray to, that we believe in. There is a God that is a creator. Now, that God may be a different kind of God to different kinds of people. The Native Americans are the First Nation people in Canada. The Native Americans in the United States believed that their God was the creator, the spirit, the great spirit. The people in the Middle East, the Muslims, believed that Muhammad was their God. And they founded a religion centered around their God. And the Jews believed in a God for a long time. The Egyptian believed in Ra, the sun god. But everybody believes in creation. Now, I know that most of the people where I live believe in God, and we pray to God. Of course, there's different cultures within religion. There's the Catholics and the Baptists and the Methodists, and then there is all these different religions. But one thing I know that whether you're a Catholic or a Baptist or a Congregational or a Methodist or a Presbyterian, you believe in a creator called God. The Jews believe in that same God. The only difference between Jews and Christians is that they believe in the Son of God, who is Jesus Christ. But Jesus Christ and God were the same. God wanted to walk among his people, so he came down as Jesus Christ. He was born of Mary and Joseph, a couple that were low income, that were struggling, and they raised a boy named Jesus Christ, who's actually God. And in his 20s and 30s, he started questioning things and started talking to people. He talked to the Jews, but the Jews somehow, and he was a Jew. God was a Jew, Jesus Christ. Anyway, it seems like children have always been used to help out families, sometimes abusive use, sometimes slaves. And so we're faced with this society of the child protection system that's supposed to protect it. But it's gotten so bad now when you're accused of neglect or abuse by either a layperson or a professional reporter. Now, examples of professional reporters are like um, your firemen, your policemen, your doctor, your nurse, your school teacher, your principal, your counselor, your caregivers. Laymen are your neighbors or relatives, the person next door. Now, I want to welcome some beautiful people in my room right now. I wanted to talk a little bit because I really haven't talked too much, and maybe I'm not making sense. But, you know, I do have to put in how we text messages. It's very important that we have the correct format. But I see some familiar faces. I see Bartley from Montana who wanted a terrible time, went through a terrible time. And you can call in, Bartley. Just give me a few minutes. And Bartley finally had her court date, and it was horrible for her. For all you listening, and I don't want to forget Dorothy Cook in North Carolina, who is very wonderfully in my room supporting what I had there. And so I'll be right with you. And Carrie Sampson. Now, Dorothy Cook's from North Carolina. Bartley is from Montana. Carrie Sampson is from Georgia. And we have Smiggly. Hi, Smiggly. Glad to meet you. I have no idea where you're from. And I put my banner up there that explains what you need to do if you want to text a message. And Bartley, you can be the first up to call in. And the reason why I'm really talking about Bartley is because I've gotten to know her. She is part of family like Dorothy and all the rest of you, Carrie Sampson, and you guys are called family. Well, Bartley finally, after waiting a long time, had her day in court. And because Bartley was raised from the age of 12 to 17 by her mom, who was not very good to her, and gave her fentanyl or drugs or whatever. Shouldn't say fentanyl because fentanyl will kill you. Even a few grains will kill you. She was put on drugs. Her mother decided to give her drugs. So by the time she reached 17, she was messed up. And her mother was messed up. And I don't know if CPS ever investigated her mother. But Bartley grew up, as all people do, and she was raped by a truck driver that had known her since 12. He forced her and got her pregnant. Her first experience of sex was being pregnant. And I can relate to that because my wife, I've been married for 33 years. Her first sexual experience was rape at a concert. Anyway, this truck driver raped. And Bartley didn't want to do abortion. She wanted to raise his child. This child is 5 years old. But somehow, and I really don't know what tipped off, but the police came and actually broke her door down. Her door still today does not lock. The police have promised to fix it. They went into her home unannounced and broke in the door and tried to trump up a charge that she wasn't taking. See, Bartley probably is a little different, and most people don't understand people that are different. She never did anything wrong. She has a clean record. She had a bad experience growing up. But CPS had their ears out for her because she was once in foster care. So, all your children, I'm telling you a life skill. When you become 18, your first order of business should be expunging your record if you have any crimes or anything. You need to start out fresh and new at age 18, and you should not have anything on you. And so Burley went and had this child. And I don't know how it got started, but this guy that raped her, who's had other children with other women, that is really has a problem because they don't know how to control the head in their pants. That's sad, and I hate to be putting down fathers out there, but you need to be self-controlled. Anyway, he showed up in court. He's expressed no interest in the child, no interest at all. All he wants is Bartley. He's old now, and he, I guess, can't find another girl. Where and Bartley probably is easy because she's nice. She's too nice, and people take advantage of her. So she went to a hearing. By the way, her criminal charges, I think, have been dropped or been reduced, and refusing to let people in her home. They didn't have a warrant. So far, they've not produced the documents they're supposed to produce for her. She's supposed to have family reunification, but ignore her. She is low income, and that's what all of us have something in common. Being low income or losing a job and lose your income, which is my case, you can't afford a real attorney. You can't afford a real attorney. And that is the key. And that's one of my 5 rules, that you must get an attorney trained in the areas of um, juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. So she has a court appointed attorney. That court appointed attorney was so lazy, she only showed up on Zoom. The attorneys for the CPS entity in Montana, I don't know what county she's in, but that particular county, also appeared on Zoom. The judge and Bartley were in the courtroom. I think one of the social workers may have been. But I'm going to let Bartley tell about her story because she had a horrific day yesterday. I had helped her for months and coached her what to do and how to use her court appointed attorney. But she never got a them that she wants family reunification. They've forced her child into a public school, which he doesn't have to be until he's 6. She wanted to do homeschooling, so she set up her part in her home. She has lovely pictures. I've seen the pictures. She wanted to teach his name, and they're taking that away from her. She has no family members that support her because I guess that part of where she's from, the family is bad. And that's the sad, because a lot of you have those similar things. I know that. I know that where you came from and stuff. Now, besides how to text a message to me, you can also be a guest on my live stream. To be a guest, I'll put the banner up there. Now, I don't need to read it to you. You guys can read it and decipher what I want. Now, I'm on every day of the week at 7 p.m. at night, and on the weekdays at 10 a.m. in the morning, and on the weekends at 8 a.m. in the morning. They're an hour-long live stream. The times I give to you are on the Pacific coast of California, West Coast time. That is called PST, Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you're in Montana, you're on Mountain Time, you're an hour ahead of me. If you're in Texas, you're on Central Time, 2 hours ahead of me. And if you're in Ohio, you're 3 hours ahead of me. And in United Kingdom, you're 8 hours. In Europe, you're 9. And in Africa, you're 9. And why do I talk about, you know, countries outside the US? Because this live stream is international. If you have internet, you're going to pick me up. And I have beautiful people. I have Leica from South Africa, the northwest province of South Africa. 40-year-old lady that has a terrible time because the man that she loved, she found out that he was a pedophile. And the government is so bad that they're restricting her from seeing her child. It's a real complex. And she's called in. I also have the lady in Leeds in England. Um, the countries I have so far are Indonesia, Bangladesh, India. In the Middle East, I have Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Libya. Then in Africa, I have the Liberia, I have Sudan, Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Mozambique, the South Africa and its provinces. And then up to Europe, I have the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, and Wales. I also have Denmark and Sweden. All these have either called in or texted in about their CPS case. Now, across the pond to North America, I have Canada and its provinces. I have the United States, and all 50 states have either called or texted in. Some of you have called from the Rosebud Reservation, the home of the Lakota Sioux, the state of South, the Black Hills. I know a lot about the Lakota Sioux because my great great grandmother is a full blooded Lakota Sioux from the Rosebud Reservation. I spent time there helping families. It's a hard time there. I remember back in the 70s with a battle of Wounded Knee and the American Indian movement, AIM. And then there was the ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Movement of 1978, the act that protects Indian children. It took from 1875 to 1978 to finally have it so that Indians can take care of their own children when there's suspect neglect or abuse. And I explained about that further because a lot of you, I had Happy Feet, who is an Indian tribe in Arizona. And that tribe is having a hard time with CPS with the children supposed to be turned over to the Indian family. I've seen many First Nation people talk on my show in Canada about how corrupt CPS is up there. In fact, CPS has got so corrupt, a lady takes her children, goes on a vacation in Canada, and because she stayed at a shelter, because she couldn't afford a hotel, they round her up, found out she had kids that were supposed to be in school, but she said they don't have to because of their age. Shipped them off to family in Florida, and now she's battling the to get her kids back. To get her kids back. So I know CPS is corrupt everywhere. I've even heard from Washington D.C. I even heard from them, and uh, I know that we should let Bartley call in because um, you pick my shows, you email me, and I'll email Grace, and she'll send you a link to get on to the application I use called SteamYard. Now I just heard two messages here. Um, Bartley, you can call in right now. I'm going to put my phone number on. She has a lot of questions, and Yes, I'm helping her out. Um, Here's my phone number. Bartley, call in right now. Bartley has a question. Her next court date is the 4th. She says the next court date after 6 months will be the 15th. What's happened is that her biological father, the truck driver that raped Bartley, wants the child. So he's made a deal. If you come back to me and be my wife, I will help you with getting your son back. He has the money has the power. So that is the problem. Now, Bartley says she needs to know if Medicaid pays for the drug testing. And here she comes. This is Bartley. Good morning, Bartley. This is Bob Pace, live stream, and I welcome you.
Thank you.
And are you feeling a little bit better? Were you able to sleep a little bit?
Yeah, I was able to sleep a little bit, and I didn't wake up feeling like I felt last night. I'm feeling a lot better. I just found out that the next one on November 4th is called a placement hearing.
Okay.
And I did actually just get off the phone with stepdad, Kelly, and actually he was real civil with me. I also was told in the courtroom, I don't remember if I got to tell you this, but they want me to contact the CASA worker, so I did. I called him this morning, and he told me that I have unsupervised and supervised visits. So I got on, called Kelly, told him this, and today he's going to bring him over after school, and me and him going to do some stuff together, some crafting or something, and then he's going to go back to Kelly's to finish his chili mac for dinner, and then I'm get to give him a bath at our home.
Right. That sounds really great. I'm glad to hear about that part. What about reunification?
Well, that's why I was talking. I don't know about that, so I talked to the attorney, I guess, or because the CASA guy, he didn't say nothing. But that's why I told Kelly, hey, we need to work together, and like I've been telling everybody, and I reminded Kelly that I had already told him, when this is over, I do not want you to not be part of his life. I want you to be. I don't, me and you don't have to be an item. That's fine. But let's do it because he left Justin, And so he agreed, which was great to hear.
Well, the problem is you got to be careful, Bartley, because he has alternative motives. People don't understand because I didn't explain the stepdad. There's a biological dad that came into the courtroom or was, I guess, somehow presented something in the courtroom that who raped Bartley. And she's met a guy that she really cared about, but she found out that the only reason why he was really cared about her was the money that they were paying him to. She has her Social Security sent to him, to the stepdad, I guess, to help out with the expenses. But anyway, the stepdad isn't all that great. Bartley, as you said, that he likes to drink a lot when he drives his truck. And he's probably the wrong guy because Bartley is in a rebound. She really doesn't know much about relationships because if you're at 17 years old on drugs, you're not going to know how to pick a right guy or see the right kind of guy. And that's probably not Bartley's fault. It's her mother because her mother raised her on drugs. And I now have a more understanding of Bartley, um, of what she's going through. And yes, I'm hoping a lot of you get a benefit from hearing me work with Bartley. You can help yourselves. I'm not an attorney. I can't give legal advice, but I can tell you what works good for me and what works for um, you guys. Now, because I'm talking to Bartley doesn't mean I ignore you people in the room. Dorothy Cook, thank you so much for reemphasizing what I'm talking about. Dorothy Cook is a marvelous woman who's talked on my show from North Carolina. She's helped people in the room. Carrie Sampson has been coming and going. She's from Georgia, and she's talked to me there. Now, Smigley is somebody brand new. I don't know where you're from, Smigley. Please tell me where you're from and ask a question. All of you can ask me questions. Right now, Bartley called in, and my number has been up there. If someone wants to call in, Bartley will definitely excuse herself. But right now, she wants some help because she really loves her son. And what happened was, is I learned that there was a biological father involved. Now, what did the biological father say or do in court yesterday, Bartley?
Well, he had his private attorney that he hired after when this started. He had public defenders saying he doesn't have enough money, but he's a truck driver and he makes great money. And when he found out we got to get him out of the foster care and to be with Kelly, then he wanted to get to hire the other attorney. So he wasn't there because I guess he's in Missoula, which is probably about 2.5 hours from where I am in Montana, which is a bigger city. I live in a rural area. And supposedly he bought a car yesterday, brand new off the lot, I was told. And he according to his attorney, he also rented and leased an apartment. And what he's going to do, supposedly, when he gets here is become an Uber driver. I don't know.
So he doesn't have a job, but why would he leave the place he's at?
What I'm being told from my daughters is they're talking to them yesterday because of what my other daughter had done. She's now with her sister down there, and they had got to know the biological father during all this, so they know he's a mean man. And so I found out that they had told me the reason why he's doing this because he wants me to submit to him and
right, I know about that. But here's my question is, I thought your son, the 5-year-old boy, was their first child. So you have a daughter. Who's the father? Who's the father?
My mother gave me drugs. Huh?
Well, I know that, but I thought the son was born out of rape.
No, he raped me last year, October 30th, 2024. The biological father, when he came out first time for a visit, and I had texted him before he got here and said, "Don't get any ideas in your head that you're gonna."
Well, before can I start at the beginning? You're 17 years old. You met this guy at 12. Was he a family friend?
Well, see, he was 11, I was 12. But also when I was 12 is when I met my first daughter's dad, because I got pregnant at 16, had my first daughter at 17, and I was 2 months pregnant at 17.
Can we stop? Can we stop there, Bartley? You said that you got pregnant. Were you raped?
No, because I had a boyfriend, my first daughter's dad.
Oh, okay. So at 16, you had a boyfriend, which is very normal for boys and girls to have boyfriends. Did you guys know anything about?
It's not normal to me at 12. But
No. I meant you said at 16. Did you have your daughter at 12?
No, I got pregnant at 16.
Okay, stop right there. So the biological father of your son, not of your daughter? Who's the biological father of your daughter?
Of my daughter was his name is Jay. Well, I don't know what to say.
No, you don't say. You say the biological father of your daughter was an older man, a younger man.
No, we were the same exact age, 12 and a half. And my mother gave him drugs too, and it was, and we were together till I was.
But the biological father of your son, he was not an older man. He was 11 years old.
He's a
you said
younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a year younger than us. He used to come and try to hang out when we were 12 and he was 11. He wanted to hang out with us because I guess we were the cool crowd, but we weren't cool because we were doing drugs because my mother introduced it to everybody.
Yeah.
And so that's how that went. He always had a thing for me, but I never did for him, and we never wanted him to hang around us anyways at that age. And he still to this day tells people I'm his sweetheart, and I've
Right.
never felt that way about him.
Right.
He contacted me. See, after January 2nd, 2019, he contacted me. I never would have thought of the guy in my whole life. He would have never contacted me.
Okay.
And that's when this all started with him. But I've known him, like I said, when he was 11.
All right. So we were raising your daughter at 16. Now, did CPS?
I got pregnant at 16, had her at 17, but I was 17, 2 months into my pregnancy after turning 17. I was still using methamphetamines because I didn't know I was pregnant. And when I found out, I couldn't do it because I knew I had a life in me and I never did it again.
Can you tell me what methamphetamines are? Because I get confused. Right now, the President of the United States is trying to curtail some drug that only a few grams can kill. What is that drug called?
Oh, that's probably the fentanyl you were saying earlier.
Right. Okay. Fentanyl, I get confused. So this other drug that you're using is called what again?
Meth. They call it meth.
Okay. I've heard of meth. Is meth like cocaine or LSD?
No, they all react different.
What does meth do for you? Does it give you a high?
Well, when my mother gave it to me, we were parked in front of like a Thrifties, it was called at the time, down in Southern California, because I grew up in Santa Clarita Valley.
Okay.
New Orleans, Saugus, Valencia, Canyon Country. That's where I grew up.
Okay.
I was born in Granada Hills,
all right.
California. So.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And so anyways, we pull up. It must have been, I would say, 9 or 10 at night. I thought we were going in to get toilet paper. She is right in the middle of the car, that thing that you can lift up and put papers in. Out of the blue, she just puts it down and lays out some powder stuff. Made two, now that I know what it is, made 2 lines. And proceeded to hand me, I don't know what, a straw or whatever, a dollar bill, I don't remember, and told me to snort it. And I didn't feel anything at the time, and we're in the store, and I told her, I don't think this does anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't even know why she did it, but anyways, she goes, that's what it does, is what you're doing now. So you're talking a lot, you'll get lots of energy, she told me, you'll want to organize and all this.
Is it a legal drug? An illegal drug?
Yes.
So meth is bad. So what is the long-term effects of doing mething? Meth.
Okay. Well, I learned from my second daughter's dad. His mother was a school teacher in Sandpoint, Idaho, and so she learned a lot about this. She says once you're a kid and the first time drugs are introduced to your body, it does something to the brain. Where at mine, I was 12 and a half, that it stunts the brain growth, and then therefore, like you were saying, I've always had issues, kind of like, because of it, not with relationships and stuff like that.
Well, you're going to have a lot of things because your childhood, it was not a normal life. Anytime an adult do that, so that should be.
My mother.
Yeah.
She used to take me to the store and park. She parked in the parking lot, and here it is, summer in Southern California, and I'm like 15 years old, and I didn't even know till we get there. She'd always surprise this on me, and she goes, "Now we got to get something to eat, and we need cat food." We had a pregnant cat in the back of the car. We were living in the car at the time, and she told me I had to go in there and steal, and I had never stolen in my life.
Wait a minute now. So why is your mother is meth addiction? Are you addicted to it?
You can, yeah. They say it's hard to get off of, but it wasn't for me because I knew I had a life in me, which helped me a lot.
What did your classmates say? What did your classmates? Did they even come forward to try to help you?
Well, see, the thing is, all my friends all started doing it, and then my mother would ask us like things like, "Can you get us an 8-ball?" They call it an 8-ball, or a 16th or a teener. And I mean, those were things I was doing. And then I came home when I wanted to. My mother, she was always having different boyfriends. Practically, my boyfriend when I was 12, so I was about 21. With my first daughter, he basically taught me how to cook and everything. We were always together. his dad was a good dad. He let us all live together, and there was a point we did live with my mother, but my mother also too has a lot of problems where she likes to have 10 dogs, 15 cats, and let them poop and pee all over the house and walk all over it and not clean it up. And I can't live like that. And I have forgiven my mother for how she did
Did
me
you
as a
ever
kid. It
think
was
about
totally wrong.
talking to a school counselor?
Did I?
Yeah.
No, because I dropped out of school in 10th grade and 2 months into it.
Oh, wow.
2 months into 10th grade, but I got my GED after my daughter was born. I did get that. I
Yeah.
also went to nursing school in North Hollywood, California, Concord Career Institution. That's where I went, and I got my nursing degree. And then when I came up here, when I lived in Sandpoint, Idaho for a bit, I took the EMT course with Big Sky Ambulance. I'm also an EMT basic, and I also took phlebotomy. I can draw blood. I have a background like that, and I also did a lot of cashiering.
Okay. So why couldn't you, when you turned 18, did you move out?
Well, my dad finally got a hold of me, and my dad was already up here in Montana. He came out here and built the log cabin in 1992, and he said he was waiting for me to get older so he could talk to me and help me and get me out of California.
Did your dad have inappropriate thoughts about you, maybe?
No, my dad was awesome.
Then why did your dad abandon your mom?
They got divorced when I was 2 years old.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Did your dad...
My dad told me stories.
Did your dad want to be a part of your life? Did your dad want to be a part of your life?
Yeah, he did, but he just didn't want all the drama that came with it through my mother.
Okay.
And I understand that now that I'm older.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad, he was a good man. He had 20 acres up here and built his own cabin.
Where is he today?
He's a great guy.
Where is he today?
He passed away in 16.
Oh.
He moved over from Sandpoint to Montana to take care of him, and because he was sick, and he passed away about 4 months afterwards. So.
Oh, man.
He was only 62. He had a heart attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kelly's stepdad found his dead body. That's how I met him. Stepdad was through my father.
Okay.
They were friends.
Okay.
And that's where stepdad came into play. And see, when I got back after I got abandoned in Missouri from biological father when I got pregnant, that Kelly picked me up at the bus station, and on the way home I ended up getting roofied, that date rape drug. These 6 black dudes, they drugged my drink, and I was like, I remember going in and out, and I didn't know what was wrong with me, and I was scared. I didn't know.
Who did that to you, Kelly?
These strangers that were sitting in the bus station, I guess.
Oh, you mean you were alone on the bus coming back to California?
Coming from the bus in 2019 back to Montana.
Oh, okay.
Because the biological dad decided he didn't want nothing to do with me after I guess he wanted to just do me.
Well, that biological father, you're talking about the one with your daughter?
With my son.
Oh, with your son, the 11-year-old, the boy that is younger than you.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, who now wants...
Me and Dad talked about this after I found out I was pregnant. I told biological dad, and he changed his phone number. And then I had to contact the marshal in Connecticut and have him serve a paperwork. And then that's when, after that, biological dad accused me of being with my daughter. My first daughter was the man I was with from 12 to about 20, 21. Accused me of being with him, and I haven't even seen him at that time in 10 years.
Wow.
And then he made us go do a swab test, make sure it was his kid. I mean, he knew it was. He was just everything to draw it out.
Yeah.
And then I never showed any interest till this happened, except for last year when he wanted to come up, and then he raped me after I told him in a text, which I have the shot of, the screenshot. but nobody cares about it. And I even reported it, and the officer had me go down to get the rape test done.
Right.
Damn it, I went and did that. I did that.
And what were the results?
That I was raped, but I still have tried to call.
Did you prosecute? Did you tell the prosecutor to prosecute the guy that raped you?
I don't know how to go about it, I guess, because I tried to call the deputy that came out and took the report, and she had said she's the one that referred me to go down to get the test done, the rape test and all that. And I did it, and then she said, call me back so we can press the charges. And here we are today.
Did you call her back? Did you call her back?
Yes, sir. I called her 3 times this year and once last year, and I get no return call. And I mentioned that to several of these other people and regarding my son's case of what kind of man this guy is.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm not trying to put down my by all means, because let me tell you, Bob, freely today I can talk about it, but I have forgiven my mother. I forgive her. And, we don't talk right now, but hopefully she'll want to someday, and I'm never going to bring it up because I'm through it. I'm gone through it, and I just want to live life from here on. Life is too short.
Well, wait a second. Is your biological mother still alive?
Yes.
And does she want to get involved?
No.
Okay.
Because I found out they're all in Arizona, and my mother asked my oldest daughter, who's 31 years old, if she could get her, and these are her words, if she could get her an 8-ball of some meth. And so her dad called me and said, you know what your mother just did? And he told me. And I go, what did you say? He said, I told your mom, you ruined Lisa's life and you ruined mine, and don't you ever ask our daughter to get you drugs.
Wow.
So.
Wow. And how old is your mother? How old is your mother?
She's 69.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, 1 second. I'm going to pause you for a second, Bartley. Hold on. Okay. Chris just texted a message. Hi, Chris. Right. She says, hi, Bob. I wanted to ask you a question. When you have time, can Vincent help in Florida, Lee County? He certainly can. There will be a fee for his retainer. All you need to do is call the office and go to 888-6582. And you can ask him, and he'll give you how much it would cost for him to go to Florida. Now, I don't know how much it is. I know I gave a quote to go to Georgia was $125,000 retainer. So, Chris, I don't know if you have the money. I had to sell my home to get the money to have Vincent work for me. But he's the right guy. He will win your case in Lee County. I know that Bartley would love to have Vincent Davis defend her. And it's so hard with you guys because it took me 45 years to get my forever home. And yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just thinking when you mentioned I would love to have Vince. Of course I would love to have him. The
number to the off. Yeah, hold on a second, Bartley. Chris is asking for the phone number. The number is on my screen next to my number. The number in blue and white, that's my number. The number in white and red is Vincent's office number. It's 888-888-6582. At the bottom of my screen, if you want him to text you, he only will charge you. Let me see what he charges for texting you. He charges $10 for a private text message reply from attorney Vincent Davis. Only $10. $15 for a private call from attorney Vincent Davis. And $25 to be as a guest on a 30-minute live show with attorney Vincent Davis. All you do is you send either Cash App, Apple Pay, or Zella to 310 308 7758. 310 308 7758. It's a banner that runs the bottom of my screen. My number is on the left side as you face the screen, and Vincent's number is on the right side as you face the screen, the 888 He can practice anyone. See what he does. He gets a license in that state. Any attorney can get a license in any state by paying a fee. If he has a current license in one state, he gets another license in another state by paying a fee. The reason why attorneys don't have 50 license or 100 license because, or it'd be 50 license, is that it's an astronomical amount of money. And he doesn't do cases in every state, but he would do Lee County in Florida. There'll be a retainer which will include the license fee. So he can do that, Chris. And Chris, you're from Florida, right? Is that where you're from? Lee County in Florida? That's where you're from, Chris? Okay, she's new. All right, Marley. Okay, we have, you know, um, you had a question that you want me to answer tonight, but I can give you a real quick answer. You have to be a certain age to be Medi-Cal, Medicaid.
You have to be what, a certain age?
Yes. Now
I have Medicare and Medicaid. I want to know how I can do the drug testing through it, so I don't have to go through their program to drug test.
Right, you can do that by. Well, who's your insurance through? Do you have United Healthcare?
Yes, I do.
Well, you contact United Healthcare and you talk to your primary doctor and you say to their office, I want a drug test.
Okay, because I have a doctor appointment Monday. I'll tell them.
Right. So what you do is you get that drug test. Do you have Quest Diagnostic?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Quest Diagnostic does blood and urine. I think they also would do a testing on drugs.
Okay.
And it's a nominal fee. I don't think it's that expensive. I know that my wife's program, I have to pay an $8 co-payment for her to get tested. So I don't know if you have co-payments. My health care, I don't, but I got to pay a premium of almost $200 a month. I pay a premium for my medical. It's cost me almost $2,400 a year.
Okay.
And it comes
from the gal, I have co-pays, but I'm QMB. She says whatever that means that they pay for it, I guess.
They do. Maybe you'll have a nominal co-payment of $5 or whatever. But Quest Diagnostic is the name of the firm that does testing. And a lot of the medical companies, I know in Texas, someone mentioned they knew about it. I'm pretty sure in Montana, you just look up on the internet Quest Diagnostic. But you need to have health insurance pay for it. So you go through your health insurance, United Healthcare, and tell them you want to have a drug test done. And since you've seen your doctor will prescribe it. Your doctor will he will do that for you. And then all you need to do is call United Healthcare and find out if there's a co-payment to go to wherever the drug facility is.
Okay, great to know that.
Yeah.
And then I know you got to go, but I just was going to say, I've been contemplating and thinking about maybe regarding Vincent W. Davis is maybe doing a GoFundMe page, or they have another one somebody told me about called cyber begging. And it's kind of like GoFundMe.
Yeah, I mean, I had to be creative. I sold my home to get Mr. Davis. I quick sold my home.
Right. Oh, and about the Social Security with your daughter, are they trying to say that you have to pay back some money?
Oh, they haven't gone that far. And
okay, the only reason
go ahead.
mentioned it was, I didn't mean to interrupt you, because what I know about something like that, when I was married to my middle child's dad, when we got divorced, he was still collecting off of my Social Security, and it was a year and a half, maybe 2 years into it, when I finally called them and they told me that he still was, and so he had to pay that all back.
Right, because he didn't use it on you. Right.
Because we were
But
divorced.
see, I'm
Right.
not divorced from my daughter. Well, I am now, but at the time that they're talking about, the period of time, anyway, the adopted family took the payments from my retirement. But anyway, they were the benefactor, the adopted
Oh, I
family.
thought they were double dipping.
I thought so. They were double dipping too. But I think what's happened is that
Oh,
a relative of mine is listening to my live stream and thought they'd be really
oh,
smart and pick a date that, when I lost my home was gone in April 1st, but I had a room for my daughter. I put her bunk bed, her furniture, her clothes, and all that stuff. And I had to pay for her place to live. And also, all her stuff couldn't fit from her bigger home. We had a $2 million home and all her things couldn't fit in the apartment. So I had to get a storage space. So between the storage space and the rent, her share of the cost was over $1,000, and there was only less than $1,000 every month that came for her. So I know firsthand, broad stroking, that all the money was used on my daughter expenses. It's called shelter. I
okay.
had to provide shelter because there we were trying to get my daughter to come home. I didn't live there. Only my wife and my daughter and two boys did. But my
Okay.
wife has never had income. I'm the only one that has income. So you take the four income, divide it into the rent, you get a pro rate. And you do the same thing with the storage. You divide it by four, get a pro rate. Those two numbers alone, plus the cost of the move. The move was $20,000. Her share of the cost would have been five. So that's over, that's well over $135,000. And they were questioning 126. So I've written a letter to Social Security. I have a meeting with them on Friday. And I just
Okay.
found a mistake for all you guys out there listening. Be careful of your food stamp cards because they've transferred over to a bank chip. It's a gold little square bank chip they put on cards. And if you don't, you'll be like me trying to buy food and get your shopping cart full to the brim, and suddenly your card doesn't work because now they're switching over to the bank chip. And I did not know that, and social service did not tell me about that. So I had a big hassle with social services. I had to spend hours on the phone and hours at the place to get my card.
Wow.
I know social services inside out. I know the child protection system inside out. I know social security inside out. Those are life skills I can help anybody with. I'm talking firsthand education things there.
Well, I found out. But speaking of Social Security, I was talking to stepdad today because my middle child turns 18 Sunday, and she was getting Social Security too from me, and I guess that's now going to stepdad because it goes back all of it back now to my son because
Yeah,
he's the
right.
youngest.
Well, anybody,
Yeah.
if you want Vincent Davis, he's affordable. He has a live stream on. He has books and guides you can get from that number. You can call in. He also has a website that you can go to too. That's right below his name. It's called the website. Let me try to get it there for everybody. It's called the stand.store/attorney VWD. The stand.store, he has a lot of stuff there. So Vincent will help you. He really will help you. And as I look at the message below my screen, it's all there in black and white. He has a number you can send a request by Zella or WhatsApp app or the Apple Play Pay. And he has that number there so he can help you. But do this, Bartley. Listen again. We'll help you further. But I think I helped you some more today. And also, I'm
Yeah.
starting to understand the picture. I wish we had started months ago at the very beginning of your story. Because
I know it
now
is so much more to it. But
I know there is, but
my
that's
dad said
where,
real quick though, she put alcohol bottle. My mother put alcohol in my baby bottles.
oh man.
My
And
dad told me that.
none
So
of
I
that
was
was
asleep.
reported to CPS, was it?
No, the only time it got reported is when I was 7 years old and she met my sister's dad, and he molested me and my friends. And it was when they
Oh,
had the gruff dog in school. Tell your teachers, tell your parents, and nobody would listen. Finally, my fourth grade teacher went and told, and they didn't have registered sex offenders at the time, so all he got was 3 years probation.
oh boy.
But he's dead now. He died the same week my dad did. My dad. So, because my
No.
mother said, I
I
can't believe
believe in
both
the
my fathers.
I believe in the yin and the yang. What goes around comes around. And so if people do bad, they will see justice. They will go, they will go, they will go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hate to end my show on a sad note, but Bartley, you amaze me, woman, and I am really proud to know you, and I will help you. I've really tried my best, and I'm not a lawyer. I can't give legal advice, but I'm an intelligent man. I'm an experienced man. I've been around the world a million times. I've lived in many countries. I've been to many countries. I've been to almost all the states, the United States, and I have 43 years of marriage experience and raised 6 children. So I can tell you that I've experienced it all. Lots of life skills I have. And
Right.
so I would like people to know that when you call me back tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that I will talk to you. I will help you. There are ways we can
Okay.
help you and resolve you. I think Bartley can tell you that I've helped her. And it's been hard
Yes, sir.
because it's a slow process to try to learn everything. But I know that there's a child that I helped a family keep who had a false diagnostic of having appendix, and her appendix was wrongfully removed, and the parents now are suing the hospital and the CPS, and this is happening up in Santa Clarita. And it's so sad, but I helped them. It started on a Monday, and by Friday we got the attorney for them. The attorney showed up in court. They got the case dropped. They were trying to charge the parents with medical neglect, and the parents were only trying to get a second opinion because they felt that the problem that the daughter's experiencing was an appendix. It wasn't. It was her gallbladder, her gallstone she had, and the pain was on the left side. The appendix is the right side, lower abdomen. The gallbladder's on the left side. I learned a lot, but I learned it through the internet and through talking it out with the parents. And I was able to help them save their daughter and help them keep their daughter and help them fight CPS with a lawsuit that's going to happen hard on them. It's going to happen hard on them. Anyway, um, you do get help here. I do go out of my way, and I do have to leave because I've really gone way over, way over. But I want to thank first Bartley for calling in, for being with me, one of the family. Chris from Florida, thank you very much from Lee County for your questions. Again, I'll be available again tonight. I want to thank Dorothy Cook from North Carolina, who's done so much to help me in my room, who comes in here all the time, who had a bad case herself. Carrie Sampson from Georgia, thank you for checking in. And Smidley, I don't know who you are as far as where you're from, but I'm glad to have you in the room. So I hope you guys all come back again. So, that being said, I'm going to end my live stream with you guys remembering, do not stop fighting for your children. Don't stop. If you're discouraged, see me. I'll help you. I will help you. God bless you all. There'll be a brief message that you'll see um, from a video that talks, and it's a pretty good video. It'll motivate you. Also, I've dropped my phone number down, and I have the Department of Government Efficiency. If you aren't successful at the county level of fighting CPS to the supervisors, the managers, or the directors. Then you can go to the state through the ombudsperson or the civil rights coordinator. If you're not successful, you go to the federal level and you talk to the Department of Government Efficiency. They have a website that does work. It tells you what they're doing. Then even the website offers you a job working for them, a career job, not an hourly job. And then furthermore, they have two working phone numbers. And area code 202 is the White House. They do work. I've called both of them. And then they have an email that you can send with your complaints or problems you're having with your child protection system. They are right now investigating, I know firsthand, in Orange County Social Services. I heard the supervisor from Doge on the phone conversation I was having with a caseworker. So I know that they are checking out and hopefully put an end to the corruptness to 50% of the CPS entities in the United States. 50%. 50%. Anyway, I'm going to head and sign off. Bartlett and I sign off. And hi, Rocky. I have to leave. Rocky is from New York. He has a brother he's fighting for in Virginia for CPS. How do you discipline social workers? You sue them. You sue them. And you have them fired. You have them fired. Okay, I got to leave, Rocky. And yeah, you need to have Doge investigate them. You're right. All right. God bless y'all. This is Bartley and Bob Pace signing off.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last ones left. Put your faith